We are born to be great, we are born to survive. We are born with potential to make it in life. We are born to be great, we are born to survive. We are born with potential to make it in life. Punch twisty, KKT. Beauty and wet in the middle of big backs. We always go up, we never go down. When they say we not fine, we always bust up cause we are beauty. Either be modest, who always show on the Vogue magazine. Always looking forward, you never look back. Mama prayer, girl just moving. Iron.
Hi fam, welcome to All About Twins podcast, season 1, episode 3. As you can see, this is your favorite identical twins.
Obviously.
Yeah.
My name is Beauty.
My name is Wealth.
We are the Posh Twins, Okru Clarky.
In today's episode, we are getting super vulnerable.
Oops.
As we talk about how twins fight, our biggest fight, and how we always find our way back to each other. Whenever people see or hear that twins fight, they always have this shocked expression on their face because they often assume just because we are twins, we have to always agree on everything. We have to always be in sync and never clashes, which is not true. Because being twins doesn't mean we are the same person. We have different personality, different emotions, different reactions, and different perspectives. And honestly, that is where the trouble starts. So today, we're gonna be telling you the reality of our conflict, what actually triggers it, and how we finally make peace in the end. So grab your popcorn, pull out a chair, and get comfortable because we're about to get real. Whenever people come across us, they always ask us this first question after the whole paparazzi, like, oh my god, you guys are so identical, you guys are this, you guys are that. They always ask us that, do we fight? And whenever we tell them
yes,
they're always like, why are you guys fighting? I thought you guys, just because of all your bondings, how strong you are guys are not supposed to be fighting. And I'm always like, there's no way. Even siblings do fight, even mothers and daughters do fight. So definitely we're gonna clash one way or the other. Yeah, I feel like people, I understand, maybe because of the bond that we have at twins, people are like, oh, you needed to understand each other, forgetting that our personalities are going to play a role when it comes to our conflict. Like, I feel like when we're little, if you check TikTok's videos, you see twins, even when we're little, we fight. It's normal thing, because I feel like people get shocked and there's this kind of like, they look us kind of world, like, oh, you guys fight. And they made it look like, oh, if you, as a twins, once you fight, that means you don't love each other, that means there's an enmity between you guys. And I'm like, no, it's not that way. Like, one thing I used to, that it's kind of funny when people mention that kind of thing, because I'm always like, even our tongue and our teeth clashes once in a while. So definitely, even as twins, we are going to fight. And people always have this I feel like the first assumption whenever they hear or see twins fight, they're always like, oh, definitely it's going to be a relationship that caused this fight, or definitely it's going to be money that comes between them. Yeah, but I don't know why that is like the two assumptions people have when it comes to, once they hear or see like, oh, twins fight. If it comes to the twins guys, they're always like, oh, it's definitely a woman that comes between them. That's why they're fighting. And let me say towards the girls, maybe they have a crush on the same man. Or maybe they're dating one man. And maybe that was why. And I'm like, no, it's not always true. Even as mothers, does that mean we and our mom are actually like getting the same person because of money? I know that people say money is the root of all evil, but that's not true. We fight on tribal things. Even when we are little, my mom tells us that we fight on tribal things, and we settle it and forget it. I feel like me and you, when it comes to finances or relationship, my sister and I, firstly, is that our money, we have never ever have a fight when it comes to finances, because we have one account, even though we have separate accounts. Like, our money has like a destined part. I don't know how to put it. Like, I feel like why we don't really fight on money was because we have very similarity than differences. Like, we like the same thing, we do the same thing, we have the same job. So there's not like maybe you want to go out of it to like spend money, or like me going out of money to spend money. So because anytime I'm going out and I see something, I get it for you. Yeah. And anytime you see something, you get it for the both of us. I feel like that's true, because assuming we don't have the same similarities, I feel like maybe it kind of clashes, a little bit. We can have misunderstanding why we spend this money on this thing. I don't like it. I feel like, well, because we trust each other, whenever I get something, I definitely know you're going to love it. Exactly. And whenever you get something, you definitely know I'm going to love it. So I feel like that's why we don't have it. And in relationship, if you have not watched the second episode, right, please go right now to go and watch the second episode, because we don't have the same crush on the same man. So like, there's no way it's gonna happen. It's not crush alone. We don't have the same taste. Amen. Amen. So there's no way we're gonna have like an disagreement or misunderstanding. The way movie portrays it, whereby what causes some twins fight is whereby, I have a crush on this guy, and the other twins has the crush, and the twist is that the guy is not going to love the person that does not have the crush. Like, it's so I feel like some people might have it, but to be sincere, I don't think like maybe out of 100%, maybe it's like only 99 or 98%
Of twins.
no, I mean like 1% that can have that issue. Do you think? But we just talk like
Probably.
based on our
Yeah,
own.
we're gonna talk based on our own personal experience,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
we are not going to generalize it.
Yeah, that's true.
So when people say that, it's something that we are like, there are different things that causes our fight.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
not in that money aspect or relationship aspect, because I feel like that is where people get it
Wrong. Yeah,
the
yeah.
most.
I feel like when it comes to what causes our fight, I feel like when we are younger, we don't really know about our personality. I feel like my mom can be the one to talk about it.
Yeah.
Because when we're younger, my mom is always like, whenever we are fighting, she's like, okay, it's just a pet fight, maybe fighting over one toy or fighting even when we are giving two toys, like it's just a normal thing. But when we start to grow up, we have, even from babies, we have different personalities.
Yeah.
Like as I am, I'm an ambivert, while she's an extrovert.
Yeah.
And as we start to grow up, there are some places she's more out. I don't think that was even like,
I feel like when we're little, I don't even think we know about our personalities.
I don't
when
think we
we're
do.
little.
Yeah.
Because when we're little, I feel like you're more calmer when we're little. Like
No,
your
I'm not-
personality did not come out more
yeah,
when
but,
we're little.
but I was troublesome. Mom said I was.
Come on. Like she not always agree mostly. I'll say you're more tolerant of me when we're little.
Yeah, I'll just feel like I'll follow you. Go.
Yeah, like if I said we're gonna do this, you just be like, yes, I'm doing it.
Yeah.
And like we don't really have much rift. I feel like more of his personal space, where I'm like, we are sleeping on the same bed and we're like, shift.
Yeah.
No, they don't shift. So
Or food.
yeah. We tend not to like have like big
fight when we're
fight
young.
or misunderstanding.
But I feel like when we get to our early 20s, I
Yeah.
feel like our personality start to play a role and our perspective.
Yeah.
Like me, I'm an optimistic. I'm an optimistic person.
Yeah.
Why? Beauty is the kind of person that just go with the flow, and it kind of clashes a little because me, I won't lie. I know it's a very bad. I will say it's good, but I won't say it's bad. I work under pressure. I work under pressure.
See, let me tell you, I know that being optimistic is very good. Like,
Yeah.
it's good. It's actually helped us in some way. I remember when we went to cruise and they asked us that I should tell you something. The first thing I said is that your optimistic has helped us.
Yeah.
In so many ways. Like, and I'm always grateful for it. But at the same time, it can be very annoying. I feel like if you have an advantage of something, there's no way it's not going to be annoying in some parts.
Yeah.
Because there are some places whereby, let me give you a scenario. What can I say? An angel is going to fall from the sky. And I'll say it's not possible. How is it going to fall from the sky? Or she'll tell me, if you're going to somewhere, and she'll be like, don't worry, they're going to give this thing for free. And I'm like, no, they can't give it for. It's not possible. She'll be like, don't worry, it can happen. And you can get it, because me, I'm the type of person, like, I don't put my eggs in one basket. I have like plan A, plan B, and plan C. But what's just like, once we have a plan A, let's just stick with the plan A. And I'm like, what if something goes wrong? How are we going to be able to do it? Let's have like 2 or 3 plans. And
No, like, you see, one thing about me is that whenever I have a plan, before I have the plan, I've already like go through it step by step. So you're trying to tell me that plan A, I should have a plan B. It means you are trying to be like, oh, this plan A is not really that good. So for me, I'm always like, this plan A definitely is going to work and we're going to stick to it. But when you're like, you know what, I know it's going to work, but let's have this plan B, I'll be like, oh, that means you're already having this kind of faith within you that this plan is not going to work.
And it's not like that. It's just that me, I'm the kind of person like, my full focus is gonna be on plan A, right? But I will have like, just like, God forbid bad thing. If something happened, I can go for plan B and plan C. And that's where we clashes the most, because sometimes when we want to do something and she's like, no, let's just stick with this. And I'll be like, oh, let's try this one out. Let's try this one out. And before you know it,
we just
we start
clashes.
having like misunderstanding.
And one thing about Betty is that whenever we are working or having a work, she's always like, let's take a break. When we're working too much, and me, I'm kind of I'm always like, I want to get, even though I know that the work cannot be get done in just a day, I'm always like, you know what, I want this work to get done in just a day. There was a day we are editing one of our videos, and it's over like 2 hours plus, and I was telling her, I said, we can edit this video within 30 minutes, and she was like, we are stressed already. We can't edit this video. And I was like, why do you say so? And when I said that she was not giving me the attention I needed, it got me annoyed, and I was like, oh my god, oh my god,
That's what I'm saying, because me, I don't work under pressure. I don't know how to do it. Any little stress, you will see it on my face, like it's going to show on my face. That's the kind of person I am. I remember there was, I will give it to you. I will give you your flowers, even though it can be annoying. Most of the job that when we are still in our working areas, it was where that made it possible for us to be able to work in that company or organization. Because me, once we go for an interview and they're like, come back the next day, I'll say, I'm not going again. I'm tired. Me, Lomo. Like, that's what I would say, because that's how I am. So once it stresses me a little bit, even sometimes when we're going for like our birthday photo shoot and the makeup is taking like longer.
This is how we look. When I say post,
I'm not doing it again.
No.
What to sit, we can do it.
I can do it.
We can do it.
And before you know it, and because we do mostly everything together.
Yeah.
So if one of us try to like shift back, it's gonna affect the other person
Yeah.
in one way or the other. So it kind of like make us clashes in some aspect.
Yeah.
And I feel like the second thing that causes our fight is because personality wise,
Yeah.
you are more of the, I won't say silent treatment. But
Yeah,
you're
I
more
don't
of the,
give
like,
silent treatment.
go back into your shell.
I won't say go back into my shell. I'm this kind of person, like, whenever me and Beauty we have like an argument, I'm always like, you know what? Let me just. I'm always quiet, even when we're having an argument, and I feel like our voice is raising. I'll be like, keep quiet. I don't want to hear anything again. Just keep quiet. But she's the confrontational type. She'll be like, let's solve it now. You know what? Let's. And
Come
you-
on, the way you're putting strength in
That
it,
is how
you are
you-
going to think that's how I do. Normally,
That's how you do.
That's not how I do.
Okay,
Honestly speaking,
okay.
I'm a confrontational person, and I feel like I like it a lot because I'm the kind of person I don't put things in my mind. Once you offend me, I'm the temperamental person. You see me, it's all over my face. I'll cuss out. I do this, but that's why once we are done fighting, I feel like this is what happened. Once we have a misunderstanding, me, I'm the kind of like, let's do that. Once we're done, I want to talk back to her immediately. I'll be like, I can be like, what? Can you see this? And she'll not answer me. She'll not reply me. She'll say, please, I don't want to talk right now. Please, I'm not ready to talk.
No,
now.
you know the funniest part is whenever we have an argument, like something that make us like very intense, and I was like, you know what, please keep quiet, and she's like, hey, we have to talk about this thing, and you know what, I just like shut her down, and I'm just in my shell. It's not up to like a minute, and this girl will come and meet me, and she'll be like, what are we going to do today? And I'll be like, I'm still angry, she's also angry, so my anger is still in me. So whenever she talks to me, I just like talk to my hand,
And that causes like a misunderstanding, like a huge argument. Because
Yeah.
after that, I'll be like, okay, since you don't want to talk to me, I will not talk to you again.
Yeah.
And we'll be like, for some why. But I think,
and I feel like what we have our biggest fights when we are like the age of 23. Yes, I
Yeah.
feel like that early age was when we have, when we are little, we only have like tribal fight, like fighting over food, personal space, or like, just something silly. We can be having a conversation, and we just be like, oh, when we grow up, I feel like when we grow up, our perspective on some opinions start to change.
Yeah.
I feel like two truths can coexist.
Yeah.
But just because we are twins, and I feel like she's trying to make me agree more on her own and trying
Yeah.
to wave off my own opinion, it kind of gets me annoyed, and I'll be like, what do you mean? What
Yeah.
I'm saying is also right.
As a twins, we feel like two bosses on one boat.
In one boat, yeah.
Because once I say something or she says something, maybe we are taking a decision on our career
Yeah.
or businesses or something. We always want to tend to be like, I'm the right one, she's the right one, and no one wants to like submit to the other person. And
Yeah.
it's kind of like, if you're saying let's follow your own idea, I'll be like, why can't you follow my own idea?
Yeah.
Even though if my own idea is even the best, I'll be like, she's trying to erase my own part.
Yeah.
Because honestly, I feel like when we're little, I can't really remember. Even till now, anytime we have a disagreement and we actually like make up, if you ask us to tell you, we can't remember
And
what
the funniest
happened.
part is, I feel like then even some fight that we have was not really that. It's not making sense. Let's say it's not
I can't
silly
remember,
fight,
just
yeah.
petty fights.
Yeah.
We might be having a conversation about a movie, and I'm like, oh, the protagonist was not supposed to like this, and she'll be like, no, that's not the protagonist was going to be. And before you know it, we start clashing.
Yeah.
We start having disagreement, and we started having. She go back into her shell. Me, I want to talk back to her again, and she won't want to talk back to me, and I'll be like, why did I talk back to me?
And I feel like this what I'm about to talk about right now, I'm not gonna lie, this is us being vulnerable, because to be sincere, this fight that we have, like, is our biggest fight. I won't say it's one, because we never have any other fight apart from
it's
this.
just this one.
Yeah, it's just this one, and I won't lie, even till now, it still kind of send a shiver down my body sometimes, because
Yeah.
whenever I remember it, I feel like when I remember it, I'm not remembering it because of something. I remember because of, like, I'm like, oh, I wish I've done
Shouldn't have
better.
gotten to that stage.
Yeah, so I've got to that stage, because there was actually a day, if it was inside, whenever my sister and I were fighting inside, my mom don't come between us. But if she sees that it's getting like intense, she kind of like come in and be like, oh, you guys are so stupid, and you're praying your career, and you guys, you don't have any other thing to do than to just be fighting.
African mothers, they
Yeah.
have these things whereby my mom will be like, don't let the devil come in between you guys. You guys are twins. Your bond is so. How African mothers are, where they will start talking about how if I die, is this how you guys are going to be doing? Please don't do this, don't do that. So it's easier for our fight not to become intense.
Yeah.
Most of the time
When my mom
But
is around.
this day, I feel like we are 23 then.
Yeah, 23. Yeah,
we are 23
yeah.
then,
So,
when we had that biggest fight. And I'm not gonna lie, yesterday when I was actually writing the keep on down, I felt so emotional.
yeah, me too.
Like, I'm not gonna lie,
Yeah.
I was just trying to like max it up, and not to, because I like right now remembering it, I just keep praying to God that fight will never happen again. That will be the last ever fight we're gonna have.
I mean. till the rest of our life, like till we
Amen.
grow old and old.
Amen.
Because I feel like what really happened was because, like we said, our mom was not there. Anytime we're having like any silly fight and it wants to get a little bit intense, my mom is there to be like, stop it, don't do it.
Like I just feel like she's just there to like quench shit, like down. She's not like, this thing is never gonna happen. Even if we are like throwing shit, you know, we cuss each other out sometimes, you know, but just silly. But when she said that we are trying to like, she just be like, I think you guys, you know, she just scare us a little bit and we'll just like go.
But that day there was a switch in personality.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I'm the confrontational twin, while she's like the go back into your shell twin. I only say silent treatment, but even though I call it silent treatment,
it's
most
not
of the
silent
time,
treatment.
it's silent treatment. It's just don't want to admit it. So that day we were actually, like I said, anytime we have any misunderstanding,
I can't
remember
remember
what really causes it, because it's mostly on petty things.
Yeah.
Like the root of it, the root of it is always petty things.
It's not making sense.
Maybe, for example, we might be sleeping on the same bed and she shifts me. I'll be like, no, your bum bum is too big on the bed.
Yeah.
Shift. And before you know it,
she'll push me down and she'll get me another. I'll get on the, I'll get back on the bed and start shifting her back.
So that's that there was a day that I won't lie, I pushed her with strength and she fell down on the bed. And my mom was like, oh my God, want to today alone your lunch. I know me.
I'm like, oh my God, oh, I hate to see this coming every
midnight.
midnight.
After we are done, I can't. If you ask me to like mention like 3 of our fights, I can't remember. That's how crazy it is.
But this one we can actually remember. But
I can't remember the cause.
We can't remember. Yeah, that's what we can't remember the cause, but we can actually remember the fight.
Yeah.
Like every other fight, we can't remember. And we just feel like it's just a sleeting. So actually, there was a day we are coming. I think we went somewhere.
Yeah,
so we are coming back.
Yeah.
We're coming back home. So on the way, I don't know what actually causes the argument.
Yeah.
So we are like, you know, it started like, oh no, you don't want me to talk, or oh I want you to talk. I can't remember.
I can't remember. But I know that something we are talking about something petty.
Yeah.
And it became intense. Normally, what she's not the kind of person like. Anytime we're having even till now, anytime we're having like a misunderstanding or something, she's the kind of person like, you know what? Let's just shut it down for now, and then we'll come back together. But that day she was more confrontational. Even when I was saying, you know what, please, I don't want to hear it again. You know, sometimes we do it a lot. We do it for outside. Like everyone does this thing. Whereby when someone is talking, I just feel like there's a way that you shut them up and it gets the other person angry.
Yeah.
Why the other person will be like, why you like that? Why you like that?
So I feel like that day actually the fight got intense and I was getting on the nerves because I wasn't keeping quiet. I was trying to make my opinion matter. I feel like my perspective matter. But she was telling me that please keep quiet. I don't want to listen to anything. No, you are the one that you are always like whenever we're having fight, whenever you told me to keep quiet, I'm always keeping quiet. But you know, I feel like I was so angry that day to the extent that I couldn't keep my anger in. So I keep on talking, and you know,
there's no way you're going to push someone to the wall and they're not going to face back to you. So when she keep talking, the next thing we do, normally one thing a rule we have is that we will never fight outside. You never see my sister and I have misunderstanding outside, even in front of strangers. So, but the only thing we kept doing that day was we kept cursing each other out as we are going back home.
Big curses.
I'm not talking about small cases. I'm talking about like big curses. I'm not talking about one thing about my sister and I. You know, we are Yorubas, so people think maybe we are cursing like, you know, those no. Our own is like idiot, stupid. I don't want you to. So that's like, our whole like curses, not the typical Yoruba curses.
Yeah. So we started cursing each other out, and you know, it gets so intense that we curse each other from the road till we get to my mom's shop.
And what I'm talking about, the road, I don't know how I can measure the kilometer.
Like it was so very far.
So you need to know it was like, I would say like a 30 minutes.
Yeah, a 30 minutes walk.
Yeah, a 30 minutes walk.
And we cursed each other till we get to my mom's shop. So immediately we got to my mom's shop, you know, we are like, okay, now we are indoor. So we are like, you know what? We started cursing each other again. And you know, like I actually see something that there's nobody that can hurt you like your twin sister.
Yeah.
Like if someone abused me outside, I'm so sorry. It does not get to me because the person does not know me personally. But when my twin sister abused me, she knows the key point. She knows the key word to use that can trigger me or that can pain me the most.
That can just lose your spirit.
So that day we started abusing each other with those words, and it was, I don't like, stinks. Then the next thing we did, we started punching each other.
Like, I'm not gonna lie, I feel like people close to you are the one that can hurt you the most.
Yeah.
Like, even apart from us being twins,
yeah,
when you are with your siblings, your mom, your dad, there's a way that they can use word to hurt you that is gonna hurt you more deeper and cut deeper than strangers.
Yeah.
Because strangers don't know you like they know you. So let's not generalize that as twins. People also like
go through it. Yeah.
So the next thing, you know, when what hurts more or deeper,
you feel like the hand is one that can,
the hand was one that can settle the fight. And you know what? We started like punching each other.
I feel like the first round.
So the first round,
she beat me up, and I wasn't satisfied. So you know what? After the first round that she beat me up, it gets me so annoyed. I was like, okay, she met me during my weakness points.
And the next thing I did was we started the second round and I beat her up as well.
No, you didn't say it very well.
Well,
The first round, after we were actually fighting, you know, you're the kind of person like, I won't say you give up, but when it comes to fight, you give up very easily. So after we actually, I think you slept. You slept while we were fighting. So I was able to punch her at that moment. I was able to punch her at that place. And after we are done for the first round, I kept making just of her like, yes, I beat her very well. And you know, there's no way someone is going to hear that it's not going to spark. So she was like, she threw hands again, and we started the second round.
Yeah.
And we started fighting again. So while we were fighting, so
Oh, I know it's kind of funny now, but it's not funny then. So
Yeah.
when we're fighting the second time, so I think we tried to scratch each other, sort of like that. So I don't know how my hand mistakenly got into her mouth, and she beat me. She
Yeah.
beat my hand so to the extent that it
was-
was swollen and red. Like you could actually see the mark of her teeth on my finger. Like it was so red, and you know that really got me annoyed again. You know, I was just like, because whenever me and I were having like, when we were young, we do punch each other once in a while. But that was like the biggest fight ever, that we are like punching each other very, very hard. But me, whenever we are throwing punches, I try to look for it. I try to punch her in a way where I don't want her to hurt, whereby people outside can see it. I swear down. That was my thought that day.
No,
But that
shut
day
up,
you beat
shut
me
up.
so hard.
Shut
You
up.
beat-
No, don't say that. We both beat each other. When it comes to fighting, there's nothing like you are trying to find a way.
I swear.
Not to,
No, I
when
said
it comes to fighting,
me.
there's
I'm
not that
always
though.
conscious.
No, there's no way you be conscious. When you're fighting, you be conscious.
I swear, I'm always conscious.
Me, I'm not always conscious. When
No,
I'm fighting,
conscious.
my senses are
That's
not even
it.
there again.
That's it about you.
So like as we're fighting, and I won't lie, it was not as if I intentionally like beat you. You know, when you're fighting and you're in the anger mode, and I feel like that's why I said don't fight, because there's a way the devil tries to creep in when it's fight is getting intense.
Yeah.
And she actually like, you know, maybe she
I don't
wanted
even
to,
know. Maybe I want
she
to-
wanted to hold me or
I don't
something.
know.
So
My-
her
my-
hand slipped into my mouth and I beat her, and I regretted it to this day. I'm not gonna lie.
It's okay. It's done.
I swear I regretted it so much. Because even though we have had a freaking fight, it's not to that
Extend.
it's not to that extent, and I regretted to do it because you know there's a difference between when you bite someone and it's just scratches. You know, you have to like go and get like tetanus injection for
Yeah.
it, and I swear
It's okay. It's okay. Like I feel like, to me, when it happened, when she beat my hand, you know, I was screaming because you know it's hot, and I could actually see her teeth. Like
Oh,
my hand was
when
dense.
you started screaming,
That was when you let
that
go.
was when I let go. I was like, you know, and
It's okay.
Sorry.
It's okay. You don't need to cry. It's okay. It's okay. So I did scratch her as well, because
Yeah.
on her neck and her side like this, I would just say we collect blood from each other. Let me just put it that way. Like we did collect blood from each other that day, and I feel like the reason why it was intense was because my mom was not around that day. Because
and our siblings.
yeah,
Because I feel like it's just our mom and our siblings that can come in between
Between
us.
us,
But
yeah.
when we are fighting, I won't say fighting, we all have just misunderstandings. I feel
Yeah.
like this one is just like our biggest fight.
Fight, yeah.
When we're having like misunderstanding or something, our siblings are there to like to say, and Taiwan's Kenny, please don't fight again. It's okay. What happened? Don't like,
and what I feel like when our siblings are around, they are the kind of person like they you know, I used to tell people like strangers cannot come between twins when they are fighting. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Because if we have a friend is definitely going to be close to one of us than the other,
Yeah.
and they will always pick sides.
Yeah.
Like there's no way they can never be equal. But when it comes to my mom and our siblings, they are always equal, and we trust them 100% because my mom will always give blame to whoever is at fault at that moment. Like she's going to be very blunt, and just because she's giving blame to whoever is at fault, the other one does not feel like oh she's blaming me, or like oh I feel left out, because we know she's our mom and she's never like taking sides. But whenever it comes to Aisada, you know, whenever we have friends, we have the same friend,
but there's always going to be closer to one than
of us.
the other.
Yeah, one of us than the other. So whenever we have fights, we always like, whenever they're like, oh, what you did is bad, we always felt or feel like, oh, then definitely this person is siding, because the way they will talk is even unconsciously,
Yeah.
but it's coming out like they're siding one of us.
So that's why, and I feel like that's why the fight got intense.
Yeah.
So you know, there's a way whereby when you finish fighting, it's just as if there's a marks on your face that they kind of like removed.
Yeah.
So you know, the regret kicks in immediately.
Yeah.
The way we finished that fight, because you know my mom was not there, so we were, you know, you fight to some extent, you are going to get tired. There's no way when you fight you get tired, especially when it has gotten to that stage. You know, we got tired and we sat down separately, and you know, we were both like, I started regretting, oh my god, because you know, after that everybody kept checking the place we got wounded. I'm like, oh my god, and I see the way she was also shaking, so I was like, oh my god. But the pride gets
stay
in.
there.
I was like,
after we are through with the fight, my mom, my mom came to the shop, and you know, she saw the way, because she knows the way we actually are on normal day. So when she saw it, she was like, "Oh, you have started your."
No, she was surprised.
No,
because
I
that's
mean, like,
our
no.
first
When
fight.
she saw us, no, when she saw us, the first thing was like she saw the marks and every wound, and she was surprised because she knows we don't fight to that extent.
Yeah.
And she was like, so I showed her, you know, because she beats me, and I know she does not. I know you.
It was not
It,
intentional.
it was not intentional, but at that moment, I felt it was intentional, because I was like, it was a mistake. I can never put my hand inside your mouth. I don't even know how my fingers finished your mouth that day. So I was straight. My mom was like, see the way she beats me. Look at my hand. Look at my mom was like, oh, this is so bad. Like instantly, my mom faced her, and she was like, what you did is so wrong. Even though I scratched her, my mom was like, look, the finger now. This finger is like, because it was
swollen.
it was so swollen and very bad. So my mom was like, instantly my mom took me to where I got an injection and drugs and everything. So my mom faced her, and she was blasting her, and she was like, oh, you don't get the my mom was also blaming me as well for my part as well,
because I know I saw her scratches
she has,
and blood.
but she was just like, my own was much
Yeah.
than us. So it was so much that I won't lie.
So because after that, you already regretted having that fight, and I
Yeah.
was like, I think this is devil.
Yeah.
But that pride of she also offended me. I will not apologize to her.
Yeah. I feel like I feel like what made us to have that pride is the fact that we always like, I'm right in my own way, and she's like, she's also right. Like she was like, okay, even if she beats me, I also punch her as well, you know. And we're like,
You know, and I was also actually giving you a blame that you're the one that made it so intense.
Yeah.
Because I was already telling
I
you
regretted that day.
Yeah,
I
I was
swear,
already
like-
telling you that please stop, please stop, please stop. But you didn't like listen. So that was the pride that got in, you know. There's a way whereby when you finish fighting and you settle down, you tend to like bring out your own faults.
Yeah.
And you tend to bring out the other person's fault. So because of the other person's fault, you keep like saying, I'm not going to apologize
Guys,
because
yeah.
I know that she also did this, she also did that. So when we have this like the talking face, whereby we are not
We're
like,
talking stage.
yeah, we're not talking face, whereby
Yeah.
we're not like talking to each other for some time.
Yeah.
I feel like that one, normally when we fight,
It does not take
it does not take a minute
or
or
start
seconds.
talking back.
But it's even crazy because there was sometimes when we go out, maybe in front of our friend, and we just have a misunderstanding. They were so surprised to see us talking back again and laughing at each
Yeah.
other. But that day, because it was intense,
Intense.
we are like, you know, in each other's shell.
Shell.
The regret and the pride
Was
I feel like
there.
they were
I
mixed
feel like
up
immediately
together.
I'm looking at my finger again, to get me annoyed again. I'm like, oh my god, she beat me so hard. Look at my finger. You know, like it was there. And she was also like, oh, she already warned me to keep quiet, and I was the one that make it so intense like
Yeah.
that. So we're just like on each other's, like everyone was just on their own. You know, my mom was there abusing us, like, oh, you guys are so stupid. And you beat each other, you wound each other like this. If it was outside that, you guys will want to die there, you want to kill that person, eh? But look at the way you guys injured each other. So I feel like the fight actually lasted for like a day or two.
A day or two.
And
yeah.
the funniest part is during the time we were fighting, you know, we do everything together. We are still kicking for each other,
Yeah.
but we're not talking to each other.
we are cooking, we are still sleeping on the same bed. Like we are still doing, because one thing I feel like a rule we have is that even though we are fighting,
Fighting.
like I said, a stranger is not going to know. Just close friends are going to know,
No.
because there's a way that if you're talking with the both of us,
Yeah.
we interact at the same time, and we have like this thing whereby we sync at the same time.
yeah.
So when we're having a misunderstanding, we are not going to sync.
No, like she'll
Once
be
it's-
talking with the person and I'll be like,
she'll be like this. So after she's done,
then I'll talk to the person as well. So that way, most of our close friends were able to get like, you guys, you have something.
guys have a
Even though we're like,
misunderstanding. They're like,
no,
no,
it's
no,
not it.
we're not fighting. It's a lie. We know that we had like a misunderstanding. So I feel like it lasted for like 2
2
day or
days.
two.
It was 2 days.
Because the second day, my mom wasn't even taking it again. My mom was like, hi, your mom,
Yeah.
this is devil, God. And you know, we settled it. I feel like the awkward stage was that I feel like anytime we have a fight, even when we have a misunderstanding, you know, we both said it because we have a discussion whereby I'm like, if we have any petty fight, it's just like as if my whole world collapsed.
Like I feel like
At that moment.
whenever my standard we have, like whenever we have like a fight with someone outside,
Yeah.
I don't really feel it, because I'm just like, you know, like f you, you know, like. But whenever it's my sister, at that moment I don't get myself, like everything looks so sad, everything looks so bad to me, like, you know, it just look as if like, oh my god, like something in me is missing, like I'll just feel so sad, like
I'll just not get myself. I will not get myself.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's because of the bond we have.
Yeah.
I just tell people that the more
closer, the more deep the bond is, the more intense
the fight can be
yeah.
sometimes, even though it's not every time.
Yeah.
So we felt alone, you know. We do the same thing together. We make decisions. So there's no way I'll say I don't want to talk to her. There's no way she say she doesn't want to talk to me.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like
make it
Make
us to end the fight very quickly. And
Yeah.
I feel like my mom really play a major role in how we did,
Yeah.
because the first day we are sleeping on the same bed, because we rotate the way we cook. If I cook today, she'll be the one to tomorrow. We are still doing the same thing. Like, I'll cook, but I'll put it on the floor. I tell her to come and pick her food. I'll go away. I can sit down in the living room. She'll be sitting down in the room.
I feel like no matter how we fight, you cannot interfere in our fight.
Yeah.
That's one thing. There's no way you don't have the say to interfere in our fight, because it's gonna backfire on you.
Yeah.
Because anytime my son and I have any fight, and you try to be like, you try to want to.
I feel like stranger, whatever, even our close friends,
they know not to interfere, because
They
once
never.
you try to put one two mouth, you'll be the one to let us settle that fight very
Exactly.
quickly. Because we'll settle it, then we'll face you
Yeah.
and be like, what's your own? What concerns
I
you?
feel like that's why we said, because we know that this person is closer to this person,
Yeah.
and we feel like, oh, this person is trying to, like, even though it's not all the time, but we're like,
What are you trying to say?
or maybe the
And
person was like,
I'm fighting with my twin sister. This is a family matter. You don't have to like
come in
even my
between us.
mom, when we're having petty fight, she doesn't come between
in.
it, because
She'll
my mom
just
will
be
say
looking.
we are going to talk back behind that, which is true.
Yeah, she said,
I'll be
like,
like,
she was like, we're going to gossip about her.
Yeah.
She was like, what about having silly fights, cussing each other out and say, oh, use this stupid, you this, that. Mom will just be there. She'll just be looking at us. And we'll be like, Mom, don't you see what she did? Hey, me? So that you can gossip about me again.
Which is true. I'm not going to lie. So that's why, even our siblings, when we are like, mama, who is at fault? You're like, it's both of you that are at fault. Or she say,
Nobody.
Nobody. So when an outsider wants to try to like come in between us when it comes to our fight, you'll be the one to make us to settle that fight very quickly. Even when we are fighting, I still have my sister back.
Yeah.
If someone is fighting at that moment, oh God.
Oh, like that make me remember, like, my sister and I will have never gang up on someone. We have never did that before in our life. But it was only once we beat up someone together. And that's why it come back to the fact that we are still like in
Basic six.
Yeah. We're still in like elementary school. So during that time, we have like our silliest fight. You know how the silliest fight happened. So we are coming back from the school. So as we are coming back, I was the one, because anytime we are having like a little bit of disagreement when we are younger, one will always walk in the front and one will always walk at the back, because we were always like, I don't want to walk beside you. I don't want to walk beside her. So I was going in the front. Then there was a boy from another school. Like, there was a lot of space. Like, the road was tiny, but it can contain like 5 people.
Yeah.
Then he double crossed me on the way, and he said I should pass this way. And I was like, when you're coming like this, I'm coming like this, then this is the lane I'm going to. You should go through your own lane. But the boy was just like, no, he's trying to intimidate me.
And we are actually having a disagreement. Oh my God. I quickly came to the front and I was like, what happened? And the boy was like, there's this way when men want to like fight with women, they have like where they will push you at your chest. Oh my God. The next thing I did was to land him a hot slap. Yeah, and my sister and I just started beating him up. Maybe it taught me because we have this petty station where we are little. So we beat him up so badly. People have to come and rescue him between us. And after we are done beating him, because he was like a little bit bigger than us, he was embarrassed. He was embarrassed.
So he came back again to come and fight us, and we
still beat him up again.
And after we are done,
we went home and we still continue our own disagreement that we are having. That's how we roll when it comes. So I can hold grudges with someone forever, but I cannot hold grudges with my sister forever.
Yeah.
There's no way it's not gonna happen. Like, even though when we are fighting, sometimes I might be having a disagreement with a friend or something, and because they think you are twins, if my sister tries to like want to be like the peacemaker, they'll be like, hey, why are you going to side?
And instantly they're having issue with both of us.
I don't know.
I feel like people, because I feel like one thing people don't understand is that just because we are twins, we still have our own perspective, our own mood and everything. But whenever it comes to us that maybe I was the one having issue with someone, they tend to be like, when my sister is trying to be a peacemaker, they have this kind of thought in them like, oh, which you gonna support if it's not you? And it's not true. My sister and I were the kind of person like, even when my sister is wrong, truly I might support my sister outside and correct her behind. But at that moment I will still be like, oh, so sorry, she does not mean to do this to you or that. But they don't try to listen to that part of us
at all.
The next thing they do is to like, well, okay, maybe like for example now, I'm having an issue with someone. We're looking like I'm having like, oh, okay.
And I was like, oh, so sorry, no.
They're like, hey, keep
and
quiet.
before you know it, the both of us are fighting with you. Wait, have you subscribed yet? If you have not subscribed, please do that right now.
If you enjoyed this episode that we're doing right now, or you want to look up to more episodes coming in, please make sure to hit that subscribe button right now, please.
And give it a very big thumb up. And please comment. You guys are not commenting. Now you know enjoying the episode. Please comment right now.
So let's get back to the
video. So, and that was that. I feel like that's just normal twin bond. Even there's a way we make up anytime we have like our silliest fights. Even though the pride gets in the way, we tend to like. I feel like when we are little, we don't apologize to each other.
Yeah.
When we have any argument, we don't apologize. The thing that we do is just to like, we just start talking back.
Yeah, I feel like when we're young, whenever we're the silliest fight, we don't blame, we don't like take accountability, like
Yeah,
maybe I was the one
yeah.
doing wrong, or no, we just continue talking back. But I feel like the more we grow up, the more we get to our mid-20s, our late 20s, we start to understand each other, like
Yeah.
perspective. Like, most of the time whenever we're having an argument and I told Beauty to keep quiet, and she's like, oh, she wants to talk about it, I'm like, no, my personality or my mood does not allow that, because the more you keep talking, and whenever I get angry, I get more angrier than her, and it can become intense. So when she wants to become confrontational, I'll be like, what, step back a little bit. I don't need this right now. We can come back to
Yeah,
it.
but I feel like now we apologizes more to each other when we
Yeah.
have like misunderstanding. So it doesn't like get intense because we don't even want it to get intense like
Yeah.
before. So one thing we do is now is that when we have like we know one thing we have a rule that no matter how we are having like disagreements with the both of like each other, one is going to have fault more than the other.
other,
But
yeah.
you've hurt the person in the process of you fighting. There's a way that you've hurt the other party too. So
Yeah.
we always like you. If I apologize to her, she's also going to like apologize to
Yeah.
me, and vice versa.
Yeah, like,
and,
yeah.
we sit down and talk it through.
Yeah.
Even though because I'm a confessional person, there's a way by when she says, Beauty, you know what, let's stop.
Yeah.
We take a break, and I was like, so, but now when I talk back to her, she's not like, oh, I don't want to talk to you. We continue from where we stop, and it was easy to like quickly ease the tension
Yeah.
between us.
Yeah. And I feel like because right now, whenever we apologize to each other, we're already like, okay, maybe we have a little bit of disagreement. After the disagreement is done, we tend to hold each other. We tend to hold each other as
Yeah.
like, okay, like I know my fault in this issue. If I feel like I was the one that overreacted or acted too much, I always send her a message on WhatsApp and be like, oh, I'm so sorry I did this to you. And then she will reply me back like, I'm so sorry too, I said this. And it kind of let us understand the point we are. Like
Yeah.
whenever we're having like, even when we're having like intense argument and we see like it's getting so much, the next thing we did is we give each other space.
Yeah.
Like the space we're talking about is not like leaving each other. Like she knows that at that moment I don't want to talk. And before, she always like fought me whenever we have a fight. Like she'd be like, oh, why are you giving me the silent treatment? And I'm like, it's not like I'm giving the silent treatment. That day I went out of character because assuming I kept quiet that day, I wasn't like talking too much on that day, we won't have had that fight that day.
Yeah.
So
when you're angry, you tend to say some hurtful things.
Yeah,
Even
like
when you are angry
yeah.
with each other. But now I feel like we try to sit each other down, and after that fight, we sit each other down and we talk it out, and we're like, oh, let this not happen again, let this not happen again, and we come into a conclusion that anytime we
Yeah.
have like a disagreement, there's a way that let's just calm each other down, and we're like, it's us against that misunderstanding. It's not the misunderstanding against us.
like it's not us against each other.
Is sorry,
It's not us against each other. It's us against the
misunderstanding. So now that's what we do. So sometimes we tend to balance each other up, even though sometimes it's good to be confrontational, but not in
every time.
Not every time. And sometimes it's good to also be in your shell, but not every time. So sometimes I'll be like, let's sit down and trash it out. We trash it out immediately, and it's been
And there's sometimes that whenever we have disagreement, we tend to give each other a little bit of time, just for the issue to come down. And even after sometimes we start to realize that what we are
arguing about is not making any sense at all.
And we start to respect each other's boundary. Like we said, she's very confrontational. It's good in some places because there are some places that I could not talk and she'll be the one to help me. Like our confrontational has a good side and it also has its own side as well. And me as well, she calls it a silent treatment sometimes because she'll be like, oh, even after we have like a disagreement, I'm supposed to like talk to her if she talks to me. And I'm always like, no, that moment I'm still angry. So I'm still trying to like have that thought in my head. But now we have already gotten to like
a center.
A center.
So now we understand each other more. And I feel like maybe because we never had like a bigger fight since we are little.
Yeah.
To them. I feel like that was why that one comes into play. Our personality. And now we tend to know each other's personality. That okay, if she's saying, oh, give me a space, that does not mean she doesn't want to talk to me.
Yeah.
If I'm being confrontational, I'm like, let's try this out. One thing about me is that when we're having a fight, I'll be like, okay, wait, let me show you the evidence of this. And she'll be like, no, I don't even want to show evidence. Just shut up. And I don't want to shut up. So, and I feel like people tend to like misunderstand us, especially when it comes to the outsider.
Yeah.
When it comes to our fight.
I feel like I should say something that whenever people come across twins that fight or have misunderstanding, they exaggerate the fight and be like, oh, maybe they saw twins punch each other. They make it look like it's not something normal because siblings do punch each other. Even so it's normal for twins to also punch each other, but they will exaggerate and be like, oh, this one's their bond is not good, it's not strong. The way they are fighting each other, then definitely they don't love each other.
Yeah, and I remember that I watched a YouTube video whereby there was a twin. The YouTuber are twins, and I love them a lot. So big shout out to them. And they said they never had any misunderstanding. And I won't lie, I kind of feel kind of like
Well,
I won't say word. I feel get kind of emotion that okay, well then why are me and you fighting? Then I realized one thing about their life is that they have like different life entirely. Even though they are twins, they don't really do the same thing. They don't
Yeah.
have, there's a way that when you and someone live together every time, it creates that tension, every
yeah.
time, because when you live together, there's no personal space.
Yeah.
So, but these people I'm talking about, they don't put on the same outfit.
Even their career is
Even
different.
their career is different.
their
But me and
job
her, our career is different.
is the same.
Sorry, it's the same thing
Yeah.
and everything. So it makes it
Make it harder, like there's no way
there's no way we're not gonna have like misunderstanding. So people tend to not be like, oh, when they see siblings or twins have like, especially twins,
yeah.
they make you like, they don't love each other. I can never do that to my own siblings, forgetting that the way we grow up, our personality is different and things like that. Like, look at the Kardashians. When Kim and Kourtney had that
Yeah.
fight, I could see some comments whereby people are like, then Kim hated Kourtney, or Kourtney hated Kim, and I was like, no, that if you are siblings, if you have siblings, you already know how the vibe is. That
Yeah.
does not mean they love each other. They might even be the one that love each other the most.
Yeah.
So, and I feel like the more you love each other, the more you have that like tension. I wouldn't say it's gonna be like deeper fights.
Yeah,
But, like, the more you have that tension.
I feel like the way we are raised, and like I said, our personality always play a role in whenever we fight. So whenever people come across twins, there are some twins that whenever they fight, they can actually injure each other to some extent, or like chase each other with harmful objects, and people be like, oh, this one, I'm not sure they are twins, maybe devil has come between them, or maybe something bad is happening to them, which is not always
which is not
true.
true. So please, I'm begging you, please, when you see twins fight, please do not take it as, maybe, like I said, once you see any twins that fight and their fight doesn't end, it has a very deeper meaning to it.
Yeah,
Like,
I feel like when you come across twins that have conflict, and the conflict is not settling anytime soon, I feel
Yeah.
like their parents play a role in it, because
Yeah.
right from when we are young, I feel like when we do something wrong, whenever we are wrong, like we said, my mom do give whoever is at fault like blame, like I'm blamed, like she'll make sure she blame me for what
Yeah.
I was wrong in, and also blame her as well. So I feel like maybe the parents are not really doing that and making like, oh, just because they are twins, I can't come in between them.
Yeah, and I feel like right from start, I feel like as parents,
Yeah.
they need to know that you need to be telling your children to always have this bond, to always
Yeah.
have how will I say it? My mom will be like, you guys should always be like this. Do
Yeah.
not, because once the wall cracks, anybody can come in between you guys.
Yeah.
So I feel like most of the twins that have like issues and things like that is because someone is coming in between them. That's why the fight is not set. If I don't talk to her, there's no way I will function.
Yeah.
We have a lot of things to do. So for example, let's say, let me put it this way, I have two friends where when they're having like issue, because it's just both of them, they'll quickly like settle it. But once is that one of them is three friends,
Yeah.
they tends to like, once this one and this one are having an argument, she knows she has another option, she tends to go to that other person, and that fight kind of like lasts more longer and drags out.
And I feel like when we talk about the bond, I feel like when you are so close with someone, and you know the kind of weight that you have with that someone, if you don't allow there to be a crack, like a crack that is there, I don't think there's no way a stranger is going to come in between that fight.
Yeah.
But I feel like once there's a little bit of crack from small, maybe like jealousy, maybe like or like she's not taking accountability, or he's not taking accountability, it kind of grows small till it grow bigger. And then just one conflict is gonna like blow it up, and you just see them. Like, I remember like one of our friends was asking us that, oh, what do you think about the P Square Fred and Son? And I was like, oh, I'm not so happy seeing the way that they are. But I was like, because we grew up watching them, like P Square is back again, something. So I've never been happy when I realize or notice, when it comes to our attention that they were no longer like together again. I'm like, I want to say like they serve as like a motivation. When I see twins that are in like higher careers, it serves as motivation and inspiration to which other things that, oh my god, if they can do it, we can also like do it. So when I see that they're having like fight and it was not like settling, I won't lie, I feel bad, even though I don't know them, because I feel like we are not to judge them. Yeah.
Because you are only seeing the
surface.
You are not seeing what is going on behind the scene. So you cannot say, oh, this one is
wrong,
or this one is not
right,
wrong. But at the same time, there's a whereby when I see people assumptions and opinion, I be like, maybe it's woman that made them have this fight. Maybe it's money, maybe it's business. It's maybe it might be a factor of it, but I'm very sure that there's something deeper that they knows that actually caused
that fight. And when it happened, I was telling my friend, I said, is their mom still alive? That was the first question I asked him. I said, is their mom still alive? And he said he's not sure that the mom is still alive. I said, okay. I said, I feel like that's one of the major reasons why the conflict is still going on. I said,
Yeah.
because if their mom is still alive,
Yeah.
then definitely they will have someone that can actually like talk
No, I
sense
feel
to
like
both of them.
I wouldn't say that. Not like talk sense to them. I feel like mothers have this say.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, one time my son, especially when we have that biggest fight, my mom was like, don't let the devil come in between you guys. What is this? What is that? Oh yeah, you guys should start talking to each other. I will pray against this thing. This will never happen again. Blah 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 and stuff. You know, there's a way that mother has this power to control things.
Yeah.
So when mothers are not there again, it's very difficult for outsider, even siblings, like maybe elder brother or elder sister or young, to be able to like settle the fight.
Yeah.
You know, because mother has the say. I don't know. It's just powerful. I don't know how to like explain it.
That's what I said as well. Like, I just feel like when you love someone, that's how long your conflict is gonna be. And I feel like when you love someone so deep, their word tends to also deep as well.
Yeah.
So I feel like maybe that was what really caused their
You know, there's some things that you don't expect the other twins to
To
say,
do.
and once they say it,
yeah.
it's just gonna all deep and you'll be like, no, I will never talk to you again. And if there's some cracks already,
yeah.
it's easier for the fight to drag on. Like I said, the more you don't speak with each other, the more distant you start becoming without you not knowing it. You say that even when you have a fight with someone, even though they settled it, you will not quickly become close like you are.
Yeah.
It will take some time before you now started getting closer and closer back again. I feel like that's where people misunderstand when it comes to our fights too. So please, anytime you see twins have a fight, please do not be like, oh, it's because of this, or start saying, maybe they don't love each other.
Like,
there's still a way that they will love each other.
I came across a video of twins, two men. Because I'll call them men. They are no boys again. Two men. They're actually beating each other up, and someone was actually videoing them and posting it online. I saw it on Twitter. So, and when I went through the comment section, it was nasty because people are like, oh, I'm very sure it's. They didn't even talk about finances. They talk about money. They were like, oh, and women. That were like, oh, I'm very sure. Maybe they fall in love with one woman or whatsoever. And I was like, I was like, siblings don't fight. Why is that whenever it comes to twins fight, you guys tend to exaggerate it more?
I feel like it's because of the bond,
in a very bad way.
They tend to exaggerate it. There's a way that if two people are fighting, I'm not saying that there's not going to be like comments, attention, but when it comes to twins, there's a way that people kind of take it online. You know what I'm saying? Like, people take it online to the extent that people start saying like, they have different assumptions. They don't love each other. This one's I don't pray to have this kind of twins. So all this kind of things, I don't pray to have them.
Exactly that. Yeah.
Like, I don't pray to have this kind of twins. So God forbid. They'll start comparing those twins with another twins. Look at so twins. They don't fight. Those twins, they are the good twins.
You see, what you mentioned is actually what I want to talk about. We twins, we come from different kingdoms, so definitely, and when we are raised,
same kingdom.
we come from the same kingdom, and definitely where we are raised is different, and the way our bond is definitely going to be different. It's close, our bond is very tight, but the way we react, like me now, I'm the first twins. The person that I go into my shell, why she's the competitional person, but in other twins it cannot be that way. Maybe the other one is more, or maybe both of them are both confrontational. So imagine, whenever they want to settle their conflicts or have the fight, imagine how it's going to be. So the way we'll fight will be different. So whenever I see or come across a comment and be like, so twins, they don't have disagreement, they don't used to fight, I'm always like, you are not with them, you don't live with these people, so how are you able to judge the way they settle their conflict?
Just like the same way when we went on Cruise TV, and big shout out to every twins that we met them. I don't like the way they were like giving them a little bit of, I won't call it hate comment, but like, and it's not a constructive comment, it's a bad comment. But I won't say it's a hate comment. They kept like talking about the men. They were saying, all this one, though I understand there's some things that when you see twins do or have, you'll be like, no, they're not supposed, because they are twins, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, the way people tend to exaggerate it, they'll be like, they started having like opinion and be like, this one, you better run from your twins, this one can kill you, you better like just
what kind of gets to,
you can get to them because they still love each other. It's just like because of the fight that happens between them, you tend to now start saying, hey, these twins, if it's me, I will not even be twins with him again. No, please, you don't need to make that comment. Like, for example, we learned from our mistakes, especially that fight. And like I said, I'm saying it on the camera again, we'll never have that kind of fight again in our time, by the grace of God. And about it, we have our own reflections and lessons that we learned from it. We learned a lot of things from that argument. Like, for example, now we know not to like be confrontational too much.
We know when to stop. We know when to create boundaries, like respect each other boundaries. I feel like most of the time whenever we have our silliest fights, because we never respect each other boundaries.
Yeah.
And I used to say something that my son and I, two truths can coexist in one sentence. Like,
Yeah.
she's also right in her own way. I shouldn't. Not every time I'm always like, oh, I'm right, she's wrong.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. I'm always like, okay, in her own way, she's definitely right, and in my own way, I'm also definitely right.
And I
So
feel like communication to also matters a
yeah,
lot,
yeah.
because I feel like some people do not communicate, and that is what actually sometimes might causes those kind of conflicts. Like, if you there's a way, even in relationships,
Yeah.
communication matters. If
Yes.
you don't communicate, you always clash.
Yeah.
Because now we tend to communicate more.
More.
We tend to like sit down and be like, oh, let's not do it like this.
Maybe
Let's do
if
it like
she
this.
did something that I don't like, I tend to call her and be like, I don't like the way you talked to me earlier, and she'll be like, oh, I don't see it that way, it's just a normal talk, and she'll apologize to me.
Yeah.
But before, it's not always that way. Whenever she talks to me badly, I tend to like react back and like talk to her badly as well, and that way we clash, because she does not mean it intentionally.
Yeah.
But me, I took it, and when I talk back to her, she kind of feel like, why is she talking to me this way?
Yeah.
But now we tend to like, whenever she says something I don't like, or do something I don't like, I'll call her and say, oh, Beauty, what you did to me, I don't like. I'm like, oh my God, I swear down, it wasn't intentional, it was just something normal. Then I'll be like, oh, it's okay. That one really cleared that misunderstanding.
Yeah.
But some twins, they
I
already
feel
have
like
that.
they
They build it up.
pile up conflicts. They already have it down.
Yeah.
They have like, I don't want to do this, you don't want to do
that, yeah.
Even when it comes to friendship, when it
Yeah.
comes to relationship, if you don't communicate, there's a way that little things that you think, oh, it's a little thing, let me not say it, let me not
Yeah.
talk about it. Once you don't communicate, it's build up, and just one day it kind of like blows up.
Yeah.
And you are like, remember when you did this for me that
Yeah,
day?
that's
Remember
what-
when you did
yeah,
this for me that day? And the other friend is going to be like, I did not tell me. That means you're a bad friend. That
Yeah.
means it's happened. So like,
that's true. I feel
now-
like it's because of the build up inside.
Yeah.
Like instantly when you have like one thing I appreciate myself for, even though our conversation sometimes gets me annoyed sometimes, but one thing I appreciate her for is that whenever something annoys her or get annoyed, she quickly like, you, even not to me as Twin alone, to anybody, she's kind of just like, she'll tell you like she doesn't like what you did, she doesn't like what you do, blah blah blah, blah. But instantly she pours out her mind. She's just like very calm, like she's always calm, and she's like, okay, it's fine. But me, I'm kind of person like, I'm trying to work on it though. I feel like now right now I'm like 90%.
Yeah.
Like
I won't
whenever
say
someone
99.
says,
it's 1% now. I'll say 99.
I'll say 99. Whenever someone says something that hurts me, I tend to like
Yeah.
hold it in, like, it's hurt me, but I'll keep it inside of me. Then it will start piling up. Then one day I'll blows up, and the person will be like, what was wrong? They'll be like, on just
Maybe not
small
be-
tribal thing.
yeah.
Yeah, they'll be like, on just this small tribal thing. Is that why you blow up? Forgetting that I already have it built up in me. So then one day, then definitely there's no way something's going to build up that it's not going to like explode one day. So I feel like that is just how the way it is. So whenever you're having like whenever someone does
Just have
something bad to you, just communicate with them.
Communicate, respect their boundaries. You should know that there's some words that you don't have to say, no
yeah.
matter how intense the fight is.
Yeah.
Though we have that thing in us, I just feel like that fight is just like our biggest fight.
Yeah.
That there's just some way. Let us pray that they will not take over us.
I mean,
Yeah, because I feel like when you're having a fight, you know some words that you must not say
Say
out.
out.
That's why when we have like friend or something, me and my friend can be like having like disagreements. You never see me mention the secret that she
told me,
tells me,
or like something that I know that she's going through at that moment. I start using
like,
to abuse that. No, it can never happen.
Like it can never happen. So I feel like some people, that's where it's, when they are going through something, that's when they like throw in that words at them and be like, yeah, do you remember that? And don't worry now, that's why you're like this. That's why you're like this.
Yeah.
And
That's why you're not giving birth. That's why you don't have a man of. That's why you don't have a. Like
that's why your mommy hates you. That's why your daddy
I don't know. Like that's why your daddy left you. Like, and all those words. This is the trauma that this person is going through. Like, you don't need to abuse that person, but will make that conflict grow up more. But my sister and I, whenever we're having fight, we know the word not to touch.
Yeah.
Like we know the word to not use to abuse each other.
And even to friendship too. There's some words that that you don't use. Even though if that person is like, one thing I say is that there's some places whereby you have to be the bigger person.
Yeah.
Even though it can hurt.
Yeah.
There's some places you just be like, I will not be like you, because immediately you say that word back to that person, you guys are the same thing.
Yeah, I feel like that's what my sister and I we used to do most of the time.
Yeah.
Whenever like we have like maybe she reacted over something and she like cursed me out, I will keep quiet. You know reason I used to keep quiet? Because I was more or less like inside of me I was like, yeah, now that I keep quiet, she'll come and apologize to me because I never said mine back. But the moment I said mine back, it means that both of us were in the wrong.
Yeah.
We're in the wrong. So definitely we have to apologize for each other. I feel like so that really matters a lot whenever you're having disagreement with someone outside. Like,
and you should learn to always like apologize, put your
Yeah,
pride aside. Some
side.
people have pride, whereby even though when they know that they are
wrong,
they don't know how to say sorry.
Yeah,
Some
I hate
people,
it.
yes. Like,
I
and I
hate
feel like I'm so grateful for my mom. I'll say mommy, I won't say family. I'll
Yeah.
say my mom. Because the thing that she instilled in us
Us.
was like, there's two words that can break someone and also mark someone, which is sorry and thank you.
Yeah.
Like, some people, they find it hard to be able to say sorry. And they find it hard to be able to say thank you. And those things, it can save you, and at the same time, it can get you in trouble if you don't know how to say it.
Yeah.
So when you're having like disagreement with someone, and you know that you also have a fault, there's nothing bad. I feel like it's just a childish thing when you're like, if I say sorry now, she'll think maybe she's like, how would they say
she'll feel like a boss.
Yeah, she feel like she's a boss. No, but not right now. We're like, go and say sorry to that person. If the person does not say sorry back to you, at least
you know you did your part,
you did your own part.
Yeah.
Then it's left to the other person. And there's some places whereby, as a friend, even as a twin, there's sometimes when my sister does something for me, I say thank you to her.
Yeah.
Not like as if it's
means
about
anything.
money. Oh,
Yeah.
the money is the same thing.
Like we are doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Like whenever both of us like we give each other something, maybe she told me like pass me my phone, she's gonna say thank you to me. Like, it doesn't matter. You know, people like, oh, you're twins, why is she telling you take care? Or maybe she said something. Okay, if we did a mistake, she's just like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, it doesn't mean, like, I feel like people tend to let their pride come over. I feel like that's what really extends some fights, because whenever you let your pride get over you, you tend to not realize your own fault in the fight.
Yeah, because when the ego is too much and you're like, no, I can't say sorry.
I can't say sorry.
I can't say if she.
Even my mom, I know some people like, oh, parent does not apologize. My mom do apologize when she's at fault to us, and I really love it, because this is something that my sister and I want to instill in our children as well. Because whenever my mom did something bad to us, she's just like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, she's never like, oh, she's our mother now, she's always right in everything. No, she's never like, she's always.
That's why I feel like some twins fight. It depends on the way they bring them.
That's
up.
why I said like
it's
the
from
upbringing. Yeah.
So the way the upbringing is the way you guys are gonna have like better understanding and better way of how to communicate things.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, no matter how much we argue, there's no version of her without me.
And that is why we always find our way back to each other, because our bond is so strong that we can't walk away from.
Yes. So if you enjoyed today's episode, make sure to click on that subscribe button right now.
Give the video a very big thumb up.
Turn on your post notification because you don't want to miss out.
And make sure to comment down below. You guys are not commenting, you are just watching. Please, we need you guys to comment. We love reading you guys comment. So make sure to comment down below right now.
So see you in our next episode.
Adios.
We are born to be great, we are born to survive. We are born with potential to make it in life. We are born to be great, we are born to survive. We are born with potential to make it in life.